I know I'm not the only one seeing this. It's impossible. It's unavoidable. I know I'm not the only person seeing this. Ain't no way. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. You mean to tell me there's more pages to read? There's more to look into. There's more detail. There's more chapters. Huh? There's more issues. There's reoccurring issues. You mean to tell me stuff like this has been happening for a minute? You mean to tell me I can go back to a bookmark situation from a year ago and it applies to today? We'll get to that. But in a second, we have to start with the bloodlines. This entire equation starts with Kendrick versus Drake. Pusha T's album releases July 11th. July 11th, but this entire equation, this entire breakdown, this GQ interview that he's done, that's being spreading like wildfire at this point, right? It stems from, by the way, this is allegedly podcast, and they almost got me. This is allegedly podcast. Everything I say and do is for intent purposes only. So the ongoing lawsuit between the two, the ongoing lawsuit is the reason everything's being held. We did a video on Chains and Whips, Whips and Chains featuring Kendrick Lamar in January. We wondered to ourselves, yo, when is that dropping? They already played it on the runway, so in Kendrick's verse, she's not going to turn anything new. And then it's like, when is that dropping? Now we know why it didn't drop. If you missed the last video, now we know why it didn't drop. It was being subdued. It was being diluted. It was being stepped on. It was being basically blocked. They got the ultimatum of what to do. Either you drop that verse, as in don't release it, or cut his side, or you know that, or drop that track. Bye. But again, back to the top. We'll go back to this part. Kendrick versus Drake happens. Like that. We'll get back to that, by the way. Like that. It's just Big Me. Push-ups, tailor-made, Euphoria, 616. You know what I'm saying? Family Matters, Meet the Grams. Not Like Us, Heart Part 6, and then the lawsuit happens. Then everything is tight-lipped. Even Kendrick Lamar himself realizes at this point he's in a good position, right? He's in a good position in terms of stardom. This is probably, and you would agree, right? Comment below if I'm bugging. This is the hottest Kendrick has ever been, because a battle between the top two or the top three, the top five, depending on how you want to do the breakdown, artists, it makes for good content. It makes for everybody to tune like, yo, what is going on? The whole world is basically stopping. Niggas just doing this not like that, not like us dancing in Asia, in Africa. So again, I believe this is the hottest Kendrick has been. So you would think to yourself, logically, before we get into the rest of the stuff, logically, that a label like, yo, you got Kendrick on your shit? Oh, this album about to go up. We got Kendrick as a feature on this. Yeah. The label says no. They got a lawsuit with Drake going on. We don't want no parts of that, basically. And then Pusha T and Clips explain, yo, this track don't got nothing to do with Drake. Not even a subliminal. It's got nothing to do, bro. We can even, I'm guessing they probably said, we could play you the verse and everything. Got nothing to do. They said, no, we don't hear that. We're going to drop you. So the opposite of what we expect as a label to happen doesn't happen. If I haven't said that right. You know what I'm saying? Like the inverse happens. We're going to drop you. You have a selling point to an album, but we're going to drop you. And the thing about it, I didn't add, and I found out they had to pay $100,000. They had to pay $100,000 to be released. We're going to let that marinate for 10 seconds. $100,000 to be released. But I said that to say this. You know, for every L, it's a catalyst to win. Because what I say to Pusha T and Clips, this probably is a blessing in disguise. Your album will probably did good. You know, you got Kendrick feature, you probably got other songs, and then Ace Trumpets is pretty good. Y'all block my situation. We'll get that fixed in a second. Don't worry about that. But everybody's tuned in. And again, the interview with GQ spread like wildfire. You know what I'm saying? People are reacting off of it. About to play Joe Budden part in a second. So everybody's tuned in and chimed in and waiting for what's next. So I think y'all can make y'all money back maybe tenfold or more. This promotion is beautiful. It's amazing. And it's just probably you telling the truth. He asked you questions. But did this interview, they got all eyes on y'all. And now what we're realizing is we're waiting for this Kendrick verse, because what I don't want to happen, before we play everything, what I don't want to happen is this. We listen to the verse and like, okay, this ain't even fucking this at all. Y'all drop clips with new content and a Kendrick feature and probably other features, and then we listen to the track on the 11th, like, yo, none of this is a diss. What did y'all do? That's gonna look crazy. I would rather the verse be some type of diss. So now, okay, it makes somewhat sense. But if, again, on July 11th, and that verse comes out and it's not no way a diss like Push T says, it's going to be a good reaction and a bad reaction in terms of like, yo, y'all is bugging. Let's continue. Are we going to play this Joe Budden part real fast and get back to what I've read?
They did a lot of interview.
Long read.
A lot of interview, but certain clips started making the way around. Def Jam, how they on Rock Nation now because the Kendrick verse, Def Jam wouldn't clear it. Let me lead off.
Go ahead.
Def Jam ain't been Def Jam since I was at Def Jam. Def Jam has always been Def, D-E-A-F, Jam.
Damn.
I call him Def Jig.
Damn.
Or that. I like that better.
I've been calling him Def Jig.
Now, I try to chill because I used to know good people working over there. I don't know who's over there now. I know they broke down, consolidated, and picked it back up.
Damn.
And they made some type of new group now with all of Mercury and Island and yada, yada, yada. We'll get to that. But Def Jam did Big Sean wrong, Tiana wrong, even though she's still over there. Who else they did wrong? Crit, Joe Budden, Def Jam without Ludacris and Ja and DMX and LL and that Def Jam.
I'm mad he mentioned himself like that. They did, Joe Budden said they did Joe Budden wrong. It's hilarious, man.
Ain't Def Jam. So why everybody get all of that? The record player with the needle on the post that I have fucking tattooed on me, them days are long gone. Why anybody is surprised that Def Jam did some anti-hip-hop shit, I'm shocked by it. But I'm not. They've done a good job with marketing themselves as the hip-hoppiest hip-hop label, and that just has not been the truth for quite some time. So it don't shock me that they said in the middle of litigation, hey, no Kendrick, even though he is a universal act.
Well, I think they wanted to.
Damn.
Censor him, and they refused. So they wanted to take the song off, and they refused. So they came up with, hey, just let us go. And that was problematic because Pusha is also signed there as a solo artist.
Okay, now he's repeating some of the things I've said. We can end it right there. We got some situations, some files that we have here as well of the interview that I didn't cover yet. But again, the process of that happened, it had to be they played the song for them. And I'm hoping they didn't just play it for one man. Like the one man decided, oh, this ain't it. That'd be bad. But again, when I said in the beginning, reoccurring issues, this ain't the first time this situation happened, right? We'll click on this. Pusha T mentioned 2 songs in an interview with GQ, Rick Ross, Maybach Music, and Pop Smoke's Paranoia, where his verses were ultimately cut. Now, we can stop right there and try to unpack that, but that could be a whole other situation. Because if with going on with Pusha T, Clips, and Kendrick, ultimately they didn't cut the verse. So were they given the same ultimatum? If you don't cut Pusha T's verse because he's in the dealings with this situation, with this guy, and they decided, let's cut the verse. Was he given the same censorship situation? Or cut the verse? But as we've seen, they cut the verse. Let that marinate for 5 seconds. But we're gonna skip past that for now because we're on one topic. I don't want to jump too far into that one. But He's seen monster before. Was that because of the same department scrutiny? And he says yes. He says, yeah, nigga. They got me already. And this is probably why, like, yo, I don't want to deal with this bullshit. So it wasn't just a Kendrick situation being they trying to censor that. It's probably like, it was a buildup. It was a slow buildup to all this shit. Like, yo, y'all been messing with me for a minute. Y'all been trying to play me for like my name is my name. My name is my name. Y'all keep playing my name. But he says yes. What happened on the Pop Smoke song is that UMG thought he was dissing Drake. Look how it come around. UMG Def Jam thought that Kendrick is dissing Drake. And he says, cut it. Wow. What happened on the Pop Smoke song is that UMG thought he was dissing Drake on that song. He wasn't. Again, he wasn't. But they thought he was. Pop Smoke was released on my label. Victor, he's the interview, the manager, Victor. And obviously I managed Pusha. So they came to me and said, we're not going to put this out now unless you get Pusha T to change his lyrics and censor his verse or cut Pusha T off the track. Even though it has nothing to do with Pop Smoke, they're like, either change his lyrics or we're not putting an album out. That's wild. That's absurd. These things are happening behind the scenes. Wow. What happened to freedom of speech? First of all, he's not dissing Drake, but how do you get to just change his lyrics or you're not putting this album out? So again, this ain't the first time he's been dealing with this. I think we got this too. And again, the name, if you was watching my previous video, we mentioned Steve. So I'm gonna just say Steve. So this is the second time we see his name. And this is what I see right here. Here we go. Boom. Wow, the emails. And again, this is from last year. It wasn't too pertinent back then. It kind of was, because Kendrick Lamar was, talking about this specifically. But now it's this done aged like wine. This is from last year, May 1st, 2024, 4 p.m. It aged like wine because the tactics are being displayed yet again. Wow. Leaked email shows correspondence from Republic Records, Drake's label, trying to block Like That from getting radio play, which is stupid to me. Let's just say you're successful on blocking it from the radios. It's a new time. It's a new day. It's a new generation, bro. You got niggas on YouTube. You got niggas on TikTok. You got people on Twitter. This shit gonna spread. Once Kendrick says, the big three, nigga, it's just big meat, nigga. It's going everywhere. It's going viral. You can stop all the radios you want. It's going viral, nigga. So trying to stop from the radio just makes y'all look bad. Let's continue. Email was sent to Epic Records, Future's label, saying, we're not granting radio rights for Like That. Epic does not have the right to release a song at radio. On Euphoria, Kendrick says, and that's what I'm talking about, trying to cease and desist on the Like That record? Oh, what? You ain't like that record? Damn. So it's factual. If you didn't know, now you know. To make matters worse, Drake and Metro both have deals with Republic, meaning they tried to block their own artists from a songs from being on the radio. Damn. Kendrick really dropped a bombshell. Okay, this is just verification of what we just said. And by the way, this is allegedly podcast. I'm only just reading what's being put out there. So that's why I'm low-key tripping up a little bit. Again, this is allegedly podcast. Everything I do is for entertainment purposes only. This is AI generated. Everything is AI. I'm AI. Oh my God, I'm not even Jay Black. I'm Jay Blue. Oh no, look at the slow motion, Just in case y'all try this entertainment purposes only. Leave me alone. You can't get me. Okay. We good. All right. Steve. All right. And again, it's what I just read per our conversation last week, per our last email. We are not granting radio rights for Like That. Epic does not have the right to release this song at radio. Thanks for understanding and cooperation. Cooperating what? Cooperating what? This is bad business. I'm going to say this. I'm going to end off with this. Again, come July 11th, and they dropped that verse. Chains and whips, whips and chains. And I understand why y'all be somewhat scared. The verse was something. You rap like you're trying to free a slave. Then he has not like us. And then you got a song with the two people that Drake really, we had situations with. Pusha T and Kendrick. I get it. But if July 11th come and we listen to that verse, it ain't got shit to do with Drake. If we listen to that verse and us niggas ever do reactions that can't decipher or decode a fucking diss to Drake, that's a problem, y'all. With that being said, have a blessed day. I'm out of here. Black.